Good morning. My name is William Watkins, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, and it's my honor to declare the opening of the California State University Northridge commencement ceremony for the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics. I ask that you all now please rise and remain standing while the CSUN Jazz A Band, under the direction of Professor Matt Harris, plays the national anthem. Professor Shoshana Stern and graduate students from the Deaf Studies Department will be signing while the anthem is sung by Chandler Juliet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Graduates, you look wonderful. Congratulations. Celebrating this occasion with us today and seated on the platform are members of the President's Extended Cabinet, College Dean Dr. Kenneth Lord, Associate Dean Christopher Jones, and all of the department chairs of the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics. In addition, CSU trustee and CSUN professor Stephen Stepanek, faculty president Dr. Adam Swenson, Associated Students President George Reyes, and CSUN alumnus Heather Briggs are with us this morning. Also with us today, Mr. Harvey Bookstein, recipient of the Honorary Doctorate, who we will more formally introduce to you shortly. And lastly, joining us in the audience is Mr. Ivan Axelrod, CSUN Foundation Board member. Will all the members of the platform party and special guests please rise and receive recognition? Thank you. And now it's my honor and privilege to present to you our President, Dr. Diane Harrison.
Thank you, Vice President Watkins, and my thanks also to Professor Matt Harris, our Jazz A Band, our vocalists and graduates from the Department of Deaf Studies for that beautiful performance of our national anthem. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you awake? All right. As president of this institution, it is my distinct honor to welcome you to the 2016 California State University Northridge commencement ceremony for the 2015 and 2016 graduates of the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics. On behalf of our distinguished faculty and staff, I'm delighted to congratulate the graduates who we will honor here today. Each of you has demonstrated great perseverance to attain your goals, and by persevering, you have begun to learn what you are capable of. but this is only the beginning. Please take with you your ability to persevere and the self-confidence that it fosters as you start the next chapter in your life. Take with you the knowledge that you can achieve your dreams. You can make a difference. But it won't be easy, and it will take hard work. Be compassionate. Appreciate and respect others' perspectives and advocate for social justice. Promote inclusivity in your communities as you did at CSUN. Model social discourse. Stand up against discrimination and value and respect diversity and the common humanity shared by all of us. Please continue to use your skills to support tolerance and strive to understand others' views. The quality of our future depends on it. I'm asking you to make a difference in this world because I know you can and you will. Your education at CSUN has equipped you for this task, and I have every confidence in you. And please know that I'm very proud of each and every one of you for being here today. Allow me to thank the faculty and staff who are here, who share in the pride of your achievements. CSUN's faculty and staff have played a significant role in supporting your success, both in and out of the classroom. And their efforts to advance student excellence and the university mission makes them the heart of this university. Much of your experience at CSUN was shaped by the generosity of those who came before you, by alumni who have supported scholarships, enhanced programs, improved the facilities in which you learn every day. And this year, it was very heartening to learn that 6,400 of our graduating students contributed to the senior class gift. So I thank you for that. And finally, I want to acknowledge the incredible contributions of your family and friends, many of whom are with us today. To the brothers, the parents, the sisters, families, friends, and loved ones, the university community and I thank you for entrusting the minds and the futures of your graduates to CSUN. We were privileged to have them as part of our CSUN family. Our graduates could not have succeeded without you. We are proud to salute you and ask that you now stand for a round of applause from CSUN. All families, stand up, families. Thank you again. The David Nazarian College of Business and Economics would like to give special recognition to those students who have demonstrated outstanding scholarship while at the university. These students may be identified by the honors medallions, the cords, and sashes that they are wearing. Will those students who are graduating with honors, with academic honors, please rise and receive our applause. Thank you, and please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Kenneth Lord, Dean of the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, to the podium, who will highlight 3 students who are deserving of additional recognition and who serve as examples of the extraordinary achievement and excellence that can be found among CSUN's accomplished student body.
Thank you, President Harrison. It is my great pleasure to present to you today 3 extraordinary students. Please rise when I call your name and stay standing while I speak briefly about your accomplishments. Mr. Alec Q. Ledoux. Mr. Ledoux has earned a remarkable 3.93 grade point average while completing the requirements for 3 demanding majors: business honors, finance, and marketing. Along the way to this distinguished achievement, Alec wowed a panel of executive judges to capture the top prize in the Nazarian College's annual Business Honors Case Competition. Further optimizing his time at CSUN, Alec served as director of the Business Honors Association and the student chapter of the American Marketing Association, was a co-manager of a $2.5 million CSUN investment portfolio, and an award-winning business consultant with the Wells Fargo Center for Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Co-hosted the first fast pitch competition in the Nazarian College's entrepreneurship program, participated in the new student orientation team, and completed internships in business development at Citadel Environment Services and as a business analyst at Dun & Bradstreet. He also earned the prestigious recognition of being named a Stanford University Innovation Fellow. Please join me in congratulating a co-recipient of the 2016 Warner K. Masters Award, the top honor conferred upon a graduating senior by the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, Mr. Alec Ledoux. Ms. CSUN Commencement. Joining Alec as a 2016 co-recipient of the Warner K. Masters Award is Ms. Garvamanians, a dual major in finance and marketing. In recovering from a physically and emotionally painful disease, CSUN learned to manage stress and anxiety and find a healthier life through physical activity and mindfulness. Through it all, she has amassed an impressive array of accomplishments. They include a grade point average of 3.84, being selected as one of 4 students for and project manager of CSUN's entry into the Marketing Edge's National Collegiate Marketing Challenge, active engagement with the student chapter of the American Marketing Association, and serving as executive director of philanthropy for Hire United. CSUN is also completing a marketing internship with Pleasing Home Real Estate Group and tutoring students with learning disabilities. Congratulations, Ms. CSUN Garvamanians. Mr. Devin Coombs. Mr. Coombs grew up in poverty. He never knew his father, and his mother died when he was 15. He has been on his own since he was 18. At age 19, he started up his own recording label. A shifting business market and the oncoming recession forced him to liquidate his company in 2007. He lived in a car for more than a year to pay off his debts. At CSUN, he has been active in the Business Honors Association, currently serving as president, and Leaders in Alliance, a group of student leaders in the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics. He has also participated with college faculty as a member of a search committee and the Business Honors Advisory Committee. He led a Business Honors Association effort to create more than 100 educational YouTube videos to assist lower division business students, and created a program in which members of the Business Honors Association act as mentors for students at Granada Hills Charter High School. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Devin Coombs, one of only 4 CSUN students from the class of 2016 to be selected for an Outstanding Graduating Senior Award. Congratulations, Devin.
And those are just 3 examples of the quality and caliber of our students. The trustees of the California State University have the privilege to award honorary doctorates to persons deemed to have made extraordinary contributions to society. This year, CSUN nominated a person quite worthy of this honor. This nomination was approved by the CSU Board of Trustees, and it is an honor for me to present this degree at this ceremony. Mr. Harvey Bookstein's citation will be read by Trustee Stephen Stepanek, trustee of the CSU. Mr. Harvey Bookstein, please come to the podium and be recognized for your extraordinary achievements.
As a member of the Board of Trustees, I had the pleasure to support the nomination of Mr. Harvey Allen Bookstein for an honorary degree. The citation notes in part that Mr. Bookstein is a philanthropist, a community leader, and highly regarded accountant and expert in real estate, tax, and estate planning, who exemplifies the university's aspirations for its diverse student body. In addition to a successful career in business, he's been an extraordinary supporter of CSUN, an exemplary role model for students and the surrounding community. Over his more than 4 decades of distinguished service, he has earned recognition for his integrity, outstanding work ethic, and the value service he provides to his clients. His philanthropic generosity and community leadership have benefited thousands of Southern Californians, and his trademark approach to accounting has made him a prominent and respected leader in his field. Since graduation from CSUN with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration, he's devoted a great deal of his time, expertise, resources to his alma mater. In 2005, he made a generous donation to what is now the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, and established also the Harvey Bookstein Chair in Taxation and the Bookstein Institute for Higher Education in Taxation. He currently serves on the Board of Directors for the CSU Foundation and also the University Corporation. He's a recipient of the university's highest honors, including the CSUN Distinguished Alumni Award in 2009 and a Volunteer Service Award in 2013. It is now my pleasure to ask President Harrison to come forward to confer the honorary degree.
In recognition of his distinguished career and his ongoing commitment and generosity to the university and to its students, the Board of Trustees of the California State University and California State University Northridge are proud to confer upon Mr. Harvey Bookstein the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. I am pleased to present to you Dr. Harvey Bookstein.
Who would have believed 46 years ago when I graduated from CSUN, I, as many of you, looked forward to what the future might bring. I had a lot of hopes, dreams, but really no factual substance to understand what laid in front of me. Each of you have the same opportunity to be able to plant your graduation from here and move forward on a path that gives you what you want out of life, hopefully in helping others as you do it. I, like many of you, although not the 3 mentioned earlier, was not a great student, but I was a great learner. I learned about life. I learned about how to work with others. I learned the value of being a unit and not an individual. I also was the first in my family to have graduated from college. I know as many of you are. I paid my own way through college, which obviously was much less expensive today, but still a challenge. But somehow those things make you stronger. They make you appreciate more of the efforts, the time, the dollars you spend to allow you to have a better life. As you know in life, we can all look at our own way we run it and look at success as we choose to define it individually. One thing I have a personal pet peeve with is when people compare to other individuals. As you know in this world, there's only one person at the top as they define success, and there's only one person at the bottom. Everyone else here, and for the rest of the majority of the world, there's always someone above you, and there's always someone below you. I believe it's our opportunity to help those below us. I think it's our responsibility to society, and from a selfish perspective of making yourself feel good in giving to others that may not be able to do for themselves. I've really had a pretty simple plan in life, but it started with one word, and that's integrity. I believe once you lose integrity, no matter what you do has a lot of value. So to me, being true to yourself and others is the most important, no matter what consequences may come about because of being honest. My second theory in life is passion. You have to love what you do. You have to love life. You have to care. You have to really feel that every day is special. Every day is unique. Because all of us are here for a limited period of time, and to make the most of it is extremely important. For me, one of the other key elements is sharing. It's hard to live life as a hermit. It's hard to do it by yourself. And whether it be a partner in life, whether it be friends, whether it be family, whether it be your dog, you need to have something to love you and something to love you back. It makes the day, the week, the month, the year go much better and much quicker. I think part of my success has been I've been very opportunistic. I've used common sense. I've used things that seem obvious to some and not so obvious to other. It's not complicated. You just have to do it your way and not follow another person who you may not believe in but need to follow because you think you need to fit in. I believe in life you're born with a tool chest, every one of us. And during life, you keep getting the opportunity to add new tools into the chest. The most important tool you all will have had as of this point in time is your CSUN graduate degree. Graduating from CSUN is something that'll be with you forever, will be valuable forever, it'll be something you can always look on forever. Always believe that, be proud of your CSUN experience, because people are going to recognize what a great university this is and how fortunate you were to be a part of it. After graduation, of course, you have other tools you'll put in your chest. One of the things to not do is have so many tools in your chest you can't carry them. So feel free to get rid of the ones you don't use, the ones that have got rusted, the ones that you don't feel add value to your life anymore. But always be open to hearing other ideas which might create another tool for you to use in your future. I also believe that, as I said before, having someone to share a life with is extremely important. My wife, Harriet, who's here in the front row, has given me a chance to have a great life. She's supported me all the way through all my issues, my positives, my negatives. She's been a support system when I've been down, and she's very proud of me when I've been up. It's rare you get someone that you can truly have that kind of relationship with, but it's an extremely important one. I'm just going to end this by saying one more time, and I've said it earlier, being part of CSUN is a real honor. Whether you have a 2.0 average or 4.0 average or 3.99, you will always have a chance to use your diploma and add this to your resume and be part of your tool chest that could take you very far in life if you give it an opportunity to do so. Thank you very much.
It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. E. Lee, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will present the candidates for the master's degrees.
Thank you. Will all candidates for the master's degree please rise? President Harrison, from the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, I present the candidate for Master of Science in Accountancy, Master of Business Administration, and the Master of Science in Taxation. These candidates have completed requirement for the master's degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State University, Northridge. Candidates, please continue standing as President Harrison confers the master's degrees upon you.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Accountancy, Master of Business Administration, and the Master of Science in Taxation, with all of the rights, the honors, and opportunities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. And please be seated. It is my pleasure to reintroduce Dr. Kenneth Lord, Dean of the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, who will now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
There are 7 disciplines represented by the graduates in this ceremony today. They are from the departments of Accounting and Information Systems, Business Law, Economics, Finance, Financial Planning and Insurance, Management, Marketing, and Systems and Operations Management. Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the David Nazarian College of Business and Economics please rise and remain standing? Candidates, please rise. President Harrison, I have the honor of presenting to you the phenomenal David Nazarian College of Business and Economics undergraduate class of 2016. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State University, Northridge.
Okay. So, upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Finance, Bachelor of Science in Information Systems, Bachelor of Science in Management, and the Bachelor of Science in Marketing, with all of the rights, the honors, and the opportunities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Members of the platform party and faculty will now offer congratulations to our degree students. I ask that the degree candidates please move to the platform as directed by the marshals. Please come forward as your name is read. You will be congratulated by President Harrison after receiving your diploma cover and certificate. Afterwards, please return to your seats as directed by the marshals, commencement staff, and ushers. I ask that the guests please help so that we may proceed in an orderly manner. We remind you that the aisles must be kept open, and you are asked to stay in your seats until the end of the ceremony. Out of respect for our graduates and the safety of our guests, noisemakers, beach balls, and all the other objects that were confiscated at the gate are not permitted. Okay.
I can get you to stand right there, because they're going to be going right by us. Okay. Now reading the name for the recipients of the Master of Business Administration. Isaiah Constantine. Adreen Kachikian. Ahmad Singh. Jimmy Trong. Ramaswamy Ramesh. Brian Wake. Lisette Martinez Rivera. Eileen Oseas. Guyana Valyan. Alexandra Bronstein. Delia Campos. Catherine Howe. Lita Soto. Bing Hu. Aaron Vahanian. Dennis Pavlov. Sebastian Blank. Elise Barbarian. Melik Karukian. Myrna Migale. Mazen Agadban. Marinosh Amroli. Lida Gamutshin. Dana Reku. Ashley Williams. Meng Zeng. Hormuz Nazarpour. Pedram Rad. Judson Penumaka. Eddie Lira Katsuma. Santipart Watanapan. Vinay Deveki. Abahaman Rajab. Narek Papukian. Now reading the names of the recipients of the Master of Science in Accountancy. Francisco Vasquez. Kayoko Takahashi. Belicia Cespedes. Melinda Katayama. Gagan Jukla. Aimee Pascual Sanchez. Rachel Clark. James Estrella. Armine Minsayan.
Now reading the name for the recipients of Masters of Science in Taxation. Daniel Israeli. Tania Odabo. Ellen Ip. Elizabeth Julian. Dawn Keen Gomez. David Stone Gross. Annie Asatrian. Sibe Yvette Jang. Diana Volkanat. Tabish Khan. Jason Lee. Wei Ren Shi. Kavita Jane. Donna Victor. Now reading the name for the recipients of Business Honors. Stephen Morris. Mingyet Lee. Irving Alvarez. Christine Diwa. Josiah Devo. Devin Coombs. Alec Ledoux. Justin Fleming. Jude Ije De La Reos. Austin Powell. Yigal Fatirian. Michal Alcuota. Paula Kapala. Ramananda Neal. Sadie Kelly. Nadia Ali. Brianna Juarez. Now reading the name for the recipients of accountancy. Suzanne Wingett. Cindy Flores. Ricky Kosayanagi. Kevin Mendez. Travis Haynes. Jinji Lee. So-Min Kim. Wexon Vincent Chen. Alexander Wilhide. Rebecca Bovert. Hannah Marosava. Natalia Barrios. Dominica Pelton. Bridget Fitzsimons. Farnaz Pajan. Ava Brookham. Lara Bekdayan. Hovannes Hovanessian.
Sophia Gore, happy birthday.
Sophia Gore.
Lily, how do you say your name?
Lily Afrasabi. Denise Lema. Bresna Plaza. Emily Ward. Petros Petrosian.
Higginbotham.
Matthew Higginbotham. David Ponce.
Recipient.
Anush Husepian.
Clement Arashabin.
Clemond Arasabin. Stephanie Moreno.
Ivan Barsumian.
Havan Barsumian.
Cause.
Mauricio Cos. Alvaro Rodriguez. Catherine Hoppers. Ramika Say.
Ramin Adib.
Ramin Adib.
Amat Kolbakvivan.
Okay, Hossein.
Hossein Kajus. Carl Hovit. Glenda Vialta. And Wynn. Sandra Rosales. Ayala Addison. Nathan Sazgar. Arsene Garibian. Sarah Satani. Seth Fiddler. Jessica Morales. Randall Poe. Ashley Bergen. Michael Delgado. Stephen Diaz. Matthew Levine. Savak Johannes Bahudi. Roman Sepsian. Andre Lee. Ferdinand Sabato. Michael Rios. Paula Velasco. Ronnie Simonian. Marina Dionesion. Oksana Doxento. Alina Gregorian. Christina Joffrey. Donna E. Breeze. Yasmin Mosca. Bhavan Pranari. Samuel Yee. Tyler Blank. Patrick Elasco. Samuel Ramos. Nara Nersetian. Sharon Mamanian. Edward Martiroson. Annette Kashishian. Chandani Ray. Gustavo Torrentino. George Rodello. Nicole Chaparro. Maria Barundasokova. Elena Bakov. Maxim Pradhodko. Margarita Kristyakova. Christine Babakanian. Angel Sanchez. Natalie Cohen. Jai Zhang. Ryan Imhoff. Edgar Lucio. Michael Syed. Anna Asatrian. Minelli Kodabachian. Yasmik Hosepian. Rosanna Alexemian. Gayan Sardanian. Shireen Fazal. Yusuf Saye. Michael Mahmoudi. Huyen Lee. Ani Pagarian. Teni Gregorian. Elizabeth Badikian. Alan Somalian. Arno Bazikian. George Jaladian. David Lutz. Judah Woody Appel. Jae Hyung. Celine Nacion. Elizabeth Ben Abraham. Rosario Campos. Sarah Salim. Maria Siddiqui. Clifford Nguyen. Vivian Liu. Edith Lopez. Jacqueline Jerez. Victor Mendez. Guillermo Salazar. Jason Martinez. Michael Cooper. Rocky Trong. Maricela Aguera Salinas. Carlos Mateo. Alfonso Rodriguez. Tanvir Chaudhuriya. Karen Pineda. Melisane Salazar. Ahmed Al-Qadi. Michelle Evans. Rose Balyan. John Amador. Julia Lorenko. Marbella Lupicio. Andrew Utayan. Claudia Delvis. Osama Umladi. Vanessa Martinez. Kayla Sweeney. Gerson Salagandia. Daniel Murillo. Marla Rodriguez. Timothy Coe. Justin Huynh. John Villalobos. Maria Morales. Christina Van Osten. Raluca Moldovan. Valle Garagosian. Phil Jong. Celia Orozco. Shahina Surti. Christian Nicholas. Taylor Kubas. Eunice Jin. Noctran. Ali Kayat. Nelson Camacho. Dana Mamukian Gargani. Siono Minasian. Helen Galician. Yasmin Saparzada. Ana Galvis. Kirsten De Rovia. Marisa Burris. Francis Coe. Jolene Chan. Deborah Loeen. Daniel Chuckman. Dranrin Batsik. Anais Hambarchian. Brian Chiklami. Michael Navarro. Benaka Cariza Preciado. Lynette Fernandez. Gabriel Lopez. Carol Huang. Efren Uderbi. Imran Elahi.
Now reading the name for the recipients of Information Systems. Marco Thomas. David Ortiz. Erica Cervantes. Benjamin Trucker. Lena Gadesi.
Angel.
David Angel.
Movsesian.
Shant Movsesian. Caleb Elmir. Justin Turan. Jonathan Goldstein.
Cisneros.
Francisco Cisneros Jr. Shaiwan Ma.
Al-Shabi.
Hatem Al-Shabi.
Bottom line.
Abdullah Al-Jabin.
Bottom line.
Andrew Farrow. Mary Kathleen Huerta. Rafael de Guzman. Danny Arevalo. Nathan Kelfer. Brandon Sato.
Nazarian.
Edgar Agazarian.
Garahanian.
Arin Garakanian.
Kokadjian.
Sarin Kolkajian.
Brian.
Michelle Morian. Justin Max Lee. Edward Nikatorian. Kachik Kalmamazian. Catherine Herbert. Wesley Williams. Now reading the name for the recipients of management. Ekra Siddiqui. Lily Gaustian. Ani Bayramian. Diana Yekerson. Esmeralda Zuniga. Guadalupe de la Cruz. Sumaya Islam. Roberto Alvarez. Brendan Vilhakis. Miriam Simonian. Patricia Janet Garcia. Maria Robles. Alejandro Chavez. Lawrence Carter. Eileen Asadurian. Talar Dersakian. Aram Ajemian. Nicholas Maloyan. Edward Shamirian. Rafi Tashjian. Brianna Acevedo. Anna Chalikian. Hunting Kai. Mei Jun Zhang. Hao Tian Zhong. Sharon Chen. Eric Gonzalez Sanchez. Vardu Sultanian. Nicole Resnick. Irma Martinez. Linnea Carlson. Marisol Cardenas. Dionisio Espinosa. Marion Burton. Kimberly Duran. Edward Melhar. Kristen Lorico. Sergio Montero. Jovanes Bayazian. Alexander Tumians. What is it? Zhao Dong Ma. Minyoung Choi. Miso Park. Memik Garakanian. Jesse Collins. Ruina Nusre. Don Leung. Pauline Bernardo Benzon. Ingrid Alarcon. Miles Garcia. Jacob Barwig. Tariq Wyatt. Ogaga Agpomji. Afsana Ohev Shalom. Raika Bazorg Marashi. Ariana Mendoza. Armanco Gordillo. Mauricio Recinos. Tiana Nguyen. Gabriela Esqueda.
Last name Tevekta.
Muchchimek Julia Sebega. Rosa Vasquez. Bria Lee. Yaritza Guarado. Emmanuel Gomez. Danny I. Lowe. Nicholas Reich. Adolfo Ramirez. Ariel Gonzalez. Levi Rabinowitz. Josh Yeager.
Renyet
Renya Davudian Tazakan. Tatiana Pirim. Eric Wright. Adrian Arenas. Andronic Badalian.
Gabriela Silon-Zochit. Now reading the name for the recipients of economics. Hadir Hamad. Malek Mandivia. Harut Yurikian. Aribazdan Aryan. Benjamin Krashner. Xavier Reyes. William Custard. Kevin Escobar. Matthew Ruben de los Santos. Jonathan Tran. Kevin Ortiz. Valeria Lopez. Israel Fernandez. Herbert Rosales. Piven Flores. Jusim. Jeevan Sakon. Silvina Atena Alfaro Hernandez. Michelle Smith. Mamad Juma. Mara Frivaldo. Carlos Ivares. Sergio Monreal. Emmanuel Masaki. Michelle Almutari. Hamad Al-Farhan. Abdullah Khalid Al-Harbi. Nikolai Barron. Susanna Pogosian. Andrew Stewart. Karapet Kalfian. Armin Madrosian. Drew Kubicki. Kamal Bandarian. Joanna Rayer. Alberto Odar. Manny Elizondo. Genesis Murillo. Gabrielle Hong. Liam Eckersley. Dean Taratoni Jr. Jonathan Omar Torres Santana. Andrew Munoz. Shant Gazari. Ryan Sikorsky. Michael Rahimzada. Talene Michelle Kinshoyan. Rafi Dar. Corey Hulsbert. Kaiping Yu. Zhao Jinguo. Li Lu Zhao. Song Han Ji. Oscar Tamayo. Jessica Moreno. Theodore Agbanwanisi. Felix Alvarado. Hidemi Miura. Jim Wong. John Welty. Leslie Zawelta. Gabi Acosta. Sophia Long. Six God Mejia. Jose Torres. Samantha Sadusky. Samantha Argetia. Christine Chen. Hansel Soto. Edward Lee. Monica Herrera. Jonathan A. Mata.
Is it David?
David Abrahamian. Now reading the names for the recipients of management. Brandon McDuff. Ryan Ray. Khalif Phillips. Thomas Mesler. Vegan Karchian. Anthony Gregg Kuyumchan. Virginia Saran. Jessica Lopez Luna. Janice Marie Del Campo. Elliot Conin. Bijan Sharkipko. Kevin Hong. Emmeline Cobb. Lave Efren Marjan. Michael Spencer Wright. Michael Tapanis. Alejandro Sanchez. Spencer Princell. Brian Tockstein. Danielle Markman. Jordan Faulkner. Kelly Nicholas. Preston Ukra. Rebecca Shows. Rodney J. Akoff. Rodney J. Akoff. Lori Martinez. Cecilia Alexis Dillard. Lola No. Kathy Arden. Kevin Lemus. Rochelle Pereira Jaisinger. Juan Jose Rodriguez. Menosa Mizrakani. Alex Stavridis. Musa Haddad. Carly Weissman. Laura Metcalf. Daryl Santos. Dominic Teresi. Abdullah El Kareji. Carmen So. Kim Chi Lee. Xavier Rodriguez. Olana Rashid. Ana Canchola. Danny Herrera. Alma Castillo. Yvette Coronado. Myra Luvanos. Elizabeth Enriquez. Johanna Orozco. Mark Baraza. Juan Oropeza. Patrick Holmes. Hishan Fernando. Sakib Ahmad. Edward Cerna. Jono Tasmagian. Christian Sanchez. J. Jade Finley. Bernadette Riley Campbell. Chris Ellis. Mina Hashemi Hashemi. Margareta Eckenbarger. Jocelyn Arendando. Hilda Elena Chavez. Madeline Lane. Trevor Neri. Sergio Avalos. Eunice Hahn. Shane Ferguson. Edwin Ariel Osuega. Carla Montenegro. Circe Gomez. Zuli Perez. Jessica Matiano. Emily Marokian. Emily Marokin. Divya Jain. Sahar Ahmed. Sukmandeep Samra. Caio Carvajo. Jimmy O'Connell. Thomas Reed. Chad Parker. Sahib Singh. Tony Wallace. Dylan Hall. Ni Long. Travis Nguyen. Selena Nazari. Rania Gazarian. Michelle Ramez. Erica Terrazas. Whoops. Tritia Luquito. Patricia Martinez. Nancy Lebo. Holden Stearns. David Ivazian. Sabina Zumina. Daniel Clark. Alec Lorenzo Cannon. Eddie Manzanares. Daniel Perlutsky. Gabor Gregorian. Jocelyn Tercios. Gurgan Singh. Herman Catrath. Mohammed Mahmoud Magob. Nancy Mendez. Vincente Barba. Varujan Sabajian. Arminas Eusepian. Evan Christensen. Ray Suarez. Danny Bejarano. Joshua Yaron. Nathaniel Chaparro. Maria Guadalupe Martinez. Katrina Flores. Christina Romero. Michaela Marie Tatango. Cindy Vasquez. Shante Ojeda. Raquel Barajas. Hector Rojero. Kelly Renaga. Eduardo Gonzalez. Ruby Navas. Jenna King. Jacob Lopez. Jason Tang. Mariel Deaver. Angela Zamkochen. Tina Hosepian. Najda Novshadyan. Jennifer Okuhara. Maribel Carmina Barbara Gonzalez. Vanessa Quintana. Nicole Oswald. Amber Brugel. Milton Rodriguez. Amanda Stoyer. Kevin Duarte. Tamis Gluns. Janelle Alexandra Maldonado.
Diane Lee, no name.
Okay, Diane Lee. Nope. Simone Fati. Nicholas Hernandez. No, sorry. Dimas Sierra. Francisco Aguilera Mija. Alex Hong. Roxana Magana Fernandez. Eugene Flowers. Anna Torres. Billy Latin. Christian Kerr. Isabella Ayala. Jonathan Lopez. Abed Rahman. Lauren Ashley Chavez. Nazik Oganessian. Daniela Petescu. Han Coronilla. Yua Li. Jacqueline Benavente.
Renz Martin Pumarega. Gustavo Napomuceno. Natalie Villa Gomez. Alex Heath. Ronald Pineda. Noemi Corona. Sonia Pantoja. Kyle Kishimoto. Felix Valladares. Roxana Grijalva. Sally Inciso Avila. David Blakely. Jihu Choi. John Carlo Pineja. Brandon Kaufman. Daniel Levi. Cedric Gomez. LaShonda Michelle. Sumatra Chun. Kelly Diaz. Yvette Yasmin Mendoza. Arlene Castillo. Ahmed Aswaldi. Abdulaziz Salama. Lisbeth Molina. Jocelyn Rodriguez. Alejandra Chavez. Martin Posada. Jana Ashura Shanti. Alvaro Valdez. Mary Garipian. Yorana Nasser. Eric Manukian. Mariam Malik. Lisbeth Chi. Talia Boucher. Francisco Ceja. Jeffrey Alexander Orantes. Fernando Reyes. Lauren Markey. Chelsea Russo. Cara Palumbo. Stephanie Tran. Nico Buonora. Ryan McKenzie. Carolina Asensio. Liber Acosta. Nima Bari. Sam Mann. Robert Kusedian. Sami Fahed. Navinjay Sroya. Mohammed Mutasim Al-Mansuri. Vitaly Krugliakov. Ashak Dalakian. Vinny Garibin. Kevin Sariko. Alexander Lazaroff. Aras Kachikian. Megan Benz. Gil Hemrosillo. Sergio Bayer. Angel Gutierrez. Dewey Mimba. Nihi Wong. Carla Gorbut. Wu. Yilin Jin. Diana Ariola. Delfino Munoz Alvarez. David Enayati. Odette Gregoriana. Kemir Tagabi. Ricardo Mota. Brian Santizo. Patrick Nelson. Evelyn Castillo. Brenda Vaitikriam. Shirley Wong. Alexander Kirk Avery Evans. Brian Ponce. Ezekiel Vasquez Santos. Rudy Keshishian. Sandy Chua.
Take a drink of water while you can.
I did. You want some? Abraham Mayorga. Aslan Henry. Megmik Alabazian. Brandon Lowry. Catherine Gregorian. Bianca Galustian. Brianna Garcia. Peng Yu Wu. Anthony Tomazian. Tada Kazanjian. Noemi Lemus. Marta Perez. Matthew Sarin. Abraham Urciaga. Nelson Barrios. Zigong. Ibuke Kurdudu. Andres Ramirez. Maria Cuevas Sanchez. Janice Rivera. Furkan Ahmed. Diana Shabandarian. Kerry Chakurian.
Sosa Ibanaki. Isabella Pineda. Ben Shapiro. Oliver Alvarado. Sarah Ajib. Kevin Patel. Stephanie Ruiz. Naima Ahmed. Savada Zadurian. Norvan Sapanyan. Stella Unsuk. Justin Roldan Martinez. William Rusley. Giovanni Rodriguez. Sean Smith, Smiley II. Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they just have holes in the middle, and you're just going to be, you can just drop it, and you just drop them. It's going to be, there's two sides to it. One side is the names, the other side is the address. So name side is going to be up, and then you're just going to drop them. You all set?
Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go. Now reading the name for the recipients of business law.
Shaban, Jamil Shaban.
Jamil Shaban.
Nurzat Bloom.
Nirzat Bloom. Eric Chavez. Andy Kwong Kwao. Mason Watson. Raymond Longerich. Brian Love. Ryan Dennis. Angela Tassurian.
Okay, Badr Abdul Dajar.
Badr Abdul Dajar.
Zadarian?
Edgar Zadarian.
Okay, Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea Flores.
Fallon Shapiro.
Fallon Shapiro.
Stephanie
Stephanie Mashur.
Okay, Nareg Esagulian. Esagulian.
Nareg Esagulian.
You guys can come all the way to the front. That's good.
Kayla
Kayla Gassemi.
Gassemi.
Odabashi.
Kelly Obadashian.
Stuckey, Kaplan.
Catherine Stuckey.
Colin Yahian.
Talin Yahian.
Okay, Top line.
Haley Schulman.
Okay, say Mayeli Sanchez.
Mayeli Sanchez Garibay.
Okay, Daniel Vasquez.
Daniel Vasquez.
Okay, Efren Castro.
Efren Castro.
Okay, and there you go.
Daniel Ben.
Okay, George Berga.
George Berga.
Okay, Alvindor Singh.
Alvindor Singh.
Okay, Cynthia Sandoval.
Cynthia Sandoval.
Nathaniel Williams.
Nathaniel Williams.
Okay,
Yossi
Yossi Min.
Mins.
Okay, Sally Hansen, top line.
Sally Hansen.
Okay, Hickman.
Patrick Hickman.
Okay, Brian Tyndall.
Brian Tyndall.
Okay, Sabia Dijon.
Noel Alexandra Sevilla Dijon. Alan Dash. Axel Gukazian.
Tavinger. Amir Tavinger. Okay, okay.
Amir Salkar Tavinger.
And that's Behad Hafa. Say your name.
Bedad Kavazijadeh.
It's Dolores Pina, right?
Dolores Pina.
That's great. Gomez, great.
Andy Gomez.
Okay,
Jason
Jason Gomez, right?
Gomez.
Okay, wait, Shalim. Shaheen Zartashi. Oh, Shaheen Zartashi.
Shahim Zartoshi.
Okay, Amber Shani.
Amber Shani.
Okay, Jaime Vasquez.
Jaime Vasquez.
All right, Josh Herrera.
Josh Herrera. Tiffany Castanedos.
Okay, say your name.
Chidiogo Ofebu.
Chidiogo Ofabu. Lauren Stimson. Michael Espiritu.
Kamaria.
Kamaria Holden.
Kiana.
Kiana Clemens.
Vana Bonyadi.
Vana Bonyadi.
Levon
Levon
Derkalusian.
de Carlusian.
Ara Yardamian.
Ara Yardamian. Armand Hamasian. Jose Daniel Feliciano. Jeanette Pichardo. Now reading the names of the recipients in real estate. Randy Rand. Peter Olson.
Wait a minute, Artine Aladanian.
Artin Aladajian.
Okay, Mena.
Kelly Mena.
Okay, Valeria Rodriguez.
Valeria Rodriguez.
Okay, Kapulkin.
Jennifer Kapulkin.
Duran or Duran? Duran Toledano.
Duran Toledano.
Iman Zokin.
Iman Zokayan. Nathan Sobel.
Okay,
Kian
Keon Afshar, right?
Ashfar.
Justin Fisher, top line.
Justin Fisher.
Okay, and
Andreas Johansson.
All right, Veronica Denisova.
Veronica Denisova.
Alexandro Colombo.
Alexandro Colombo.
Okay, Faisal Albrady.
Faisal Albrady.
Christian Anzueto.
Christian Anzueto.
All right,
Nathan
Nathan Newman.
Newman.
Jeffrey Grinbaum.
Jeffrey Grinbaum.
Okay, Sandra Castle.
Sandra Castle.
Thank you. Andrea. Okay.
Andrea Daniela Mendez. Oscar Martinez.
Daniela Haruk Kuktepe.
Gotcha. Danielle Pakru Kuchepa.
David.
Stephanie Gail David.
Viviana Zendejas.
Viviana Dezendas.
Okay, Nora Rosa Secklin.
Nora Rosa Secklin.
Okay,
Werner Hanneman.
Arayatipon.
Pontip Arayatipan. Monica Alvarez. Chai Earn Ho. Alex C. Espinoza. Ryan Colton. Matthew Franco. Willie Ducha. Chris Diaz. Vahe Garabedian. Brent Rowley. Jason Alejandro Villa. Joey Joriel Perez. Dong Lee Kim Tran. Raul Stephen Garcia. Michael Sheen. Rasmus Skarphagen. Zachary Uribe. Mark Villasenor. Joe Mark Labasian. Norris Torres. Mantaha Lisa. Riham Al-Khandri. Nima Kardunian. Okay. Ikam Aguiano Perez. Amir Ajinad. Sheila Bagadi. Zoya Khan. Massis Garagosian. Vardan Alverdian.
Say your last name, honey. Say your Okay, his name.
I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Abdulaziz Al-Abdulaziz.
Abdulaziz Abdulaziz. Vicky Yee. Ricardo Silva. Ahmad Al-Taifi. Carlton Ortega. Luis Mejia. Andrew Flores. Noble Mendesha. Daniel Hector Mendez. Now reading the recipients of marketing. Thank you. Kenneth Philippe Guteves. Eric Self. Mark Saba. Joshua Gutierrez. Kenneth Strong. Anthony Narek Manasi. Albert Malkassian. Travis Griffin. Natalie Kazorik. Amin Tran. Mario Hernandez. Brandon Jimenez. Victoria Maquinadas. Lama Al-Musad. Alyssa Richmond. Aaron Garcia. Erica Ellison. Michelle Fernandez. Valerie Gomez. Annie Bonifant. Alden Luai. Martin Diamond. Emma Christian Clemens. Jack Dome. Miles Vincent. Jonathan Aldrich. Alexander Mazel. Brian Ramirez. Alex Hernandez. Faris Alcanyan. MD Rahaman. Fernando Mercado. Cesar Rodriguez. Adriana Efron. Giovanna Gabrielli. Josue Nahira. Tyler Martin Serna. Josephine Melstrand. Maribel Lemus.
Gabriela Abanus.
Gabriela Banus.
Eileen.
Eileen Mendez.
Okay,
Jing Wei.
Wing Yi Xu.
Wing Yi Shu.
Okay, Ayala, top line.
Natalie Ayala.
Is it Cavan?
Kevin Shane. Francisco Ramirez.
Paulina Moncayo.
Paulina Moncayo Zermeno.
Zelaya.
Alex Zelaya.
Okay.
Jonathan Lee.
Okay, Gil.
Victoria Gill.
Zagorelskaya. Skaya.
Alexandria Zaya Goreskalia. Rachel Kushner.
Melgar.
Katie Melgar.
Nina Tavakolian.
Nibat Tabakolian.
Shayan Sharif. Is that right?
Shayan Sharif.
G, bottom line.
Cynthia Hui.
Okay.
Anthony Brown.
Robles.
Nanthony Robles.
Okay. Renteria.
Vanessa Renteria.
Okay, top line.
Joseph Bruno.
Okay. Schaefer.
Maxwell Schaefer.
Okay. Nathaniel Raimundo.
Nathaniel Raimundo.
Grant Weiss.
Grant Weiss.
Okay. Shui Wan.
Shui Wan.
EEG.
EEG.
Okay. Yungying Mao.
Yunyung Mao.
Menchi
Menchi Hu. Cole Baxter. Stacy Young.
Becky G. Erickson.
Becky G. Erickson.
Xiaojun.
Xiaojun Liu.
Michael Dubinsky.
Michael Dubinsky.
Okay, top line.
Corinne Renner.
Okay,
Dina Elaine Miller.
Okay,
Nina Sainyan.
Okay,
Cameron Barber.
Warner.
Justin Wooner. Justin Honor. Sherilyn Latar. Itzel Gallegos. Kevin Venegas. Byron Guzman.
Okay, Manuel Gonzalez.
Manuel Gonzalez.
Shiyoko Natanya.
Shioko Natanya. Ashley Shapiro.
Duran De Silva.
Duran De Silva.
Ronald Carena.
Ronald Carena.
Michael Aratunian.
Michael Aratunian. Daniel Gonzalez.
Brittany King.
Brittany King.
Omar Al-Sheikh.
Al-Sheikh.
Omar Al-Sheikh.
Farron.
Farron Jackson.
Okay, Ruli.
Vincent Rulai.
Zachary Sawchuk.
Zachary Sarchuk.
Arredondo.
Christina Arredondo.
Heinrich.
Vanessa Heinrichs.
Okay,
Wesley Lewis.
Jonathan Powell.
Jonathan Powell.
Okay, Eric Bagdasarian.
Eric Bagdasarian.
Juradini.
Rose Juradini.
Okay, Ballesteros.
Kimberly Ballesteros.
Mayte Cisneros.
Cisneros.
Jabu.
Andrea Lemus Dahub.
Jaffe.
Samuel Jaffe.
Okay, Marlowe. Cian.
Cian Marlowe.
Okay, Brian Kurzweil.
Brian Kurzweil.
Zachary Sender.
Zachary Sender.
Okay, Danny Solomon.
Danny Solomon.
Okay, Terry Greenhouse.
Jonathan Terry Greenhouse.
Akiya Ozawa.
Akia Ozawa.
Okay, Hisayo Chen, right?
Hisayo Chen.
Arisa Obana.
Arisa Obana.
Wahawi Miwa.
Wapawi Miwong. Sadie Michelle Myers.
Afton Ashworth, top line.
Afton Ashforth.
Hike
Sahakian. Henry Gonzalez.
Andy Solis.
Andy Solis.
Nayeli
Nayeli Anides. Sarai Romero. Alina Rose Kabutnik. Myra Fuentes. Michael Paul Martinez. Bami Lee. Traviata Sedana. Christy Locke. Ying Peng.
Is it
Bosi Yu. Erica Vasquez. Alexa Phoenix. Alexa Phoenix. Shadi Mansour. Stacy Vanessa Montiel. Asia Wheaton Carmichael. Jessica Myhan. Tyler Silverman. Corey DePello. Brandon Thrush. Frankie Lorez. Zachary Brazil. Ryan Motar. Patrick Mendez. Griffin Bobcat Nichols. Rebecca Martin. Krista Pastorius. Maria Madras. Susie Fran Woldub. Denise Tran. Okay.
Jason Lee. Folashade Harris. Diana Chang. Daniel Jonte. Diana Bronkakowska. Alejandro Manriquez. Jeanette Reynoso. Miriam Nicole Salibri. Eliana Amundsen. Hayung Song. Now reading the name for the recipients of finance. Samuel Fernandez. Mohammed Abdullah Al-Muharrami.
Same as last one.
Mohammed Syed Al-Fahami. Mohammed Al-Subay. Abdullah Al-Subay. Omar Al-Dosari. Harold Yamjo. Dari Alamji. Abdulaziz Al-Abdullah. Reda Ali. Abdulaziz Al-Bassam. Hussein Shamsa. Abdulaziz. Adrian Sembrano. Michael Connell. Anna Shakeva. Angela Wainata. Priscilla Romero. Rafael Padianos. Jeff Ty. David Malakian. Shant Kalijian. Hunter Charles Coleman. Brandon Casillas. Jacob Cashin. Yi Deng. Yaranuhi Maktazian. Anthony Wells. Spencer Garcia. Patricia Olmedo. Ivan Ha. Alan Perez. Elizabeth Moscovian. Lucine Mishmishian. Guillermo Gomez Perez. Hector Avendano. Alicia Corona. Anastasia Novikava. David Kashkarian. Oskana Alabian. Sevana Davidian. Zarina Omorova. Luis Alcaraz. Lucy Parmaxizian. Laban Dogramajian. Armin Mayelian. Jackie Lynn. Hao Chen Guo. Shinron Chu. Ilan Shah. Jesus Castillo. Francisco Amaya. Annie Dabdian. Aida Bulatian. Marcel Lam. Edwin Joseph Franiak. Christian Alan Fernandez. Pietro Eduardo Nicolai. Michael DeSantis. Taylor Rands. Osvaldo Munoz. Mary Gondob. Anthony Alhambra. Daniel Benveniste. Nicholas Fan. Brian Morales. Harmon Rao. Charles Warrior. Stephanie Valencia. Laura Vasquez. Graciela Gutierrez. Rigoberto Soto. Eric Stevens. Jordan Eagle. Nestor Torres. Karen Saroff. Jesse Polipia. Rita Barsigian. Alexandra Ladd. Margarita Ochoa. Lauren Chapman. Helen Petrosi. Fiorella Cortez. Maron Karimian. Nathan Newman. Sorry. Sandra Castle. John Potenza. Evelyn Marabian. Garen Gomezian. Kimberly Wright. Alexandra Nielsen. Kyle Suffolk. Mayra Guzman. Kachik Gazalian. John Wu. Adam Valdez. Trent Turner. Alexander Zenye. Ashad Khan. Travis Thomas. Gustavo Moran. Jean Copper. Gilberto Ledesma. James Leah. Michael Yee. David Kaur. Nareg Sarkonian. Jason Harapetian. Brian Rivas. Samir Ahmad Niazi. Brian Bonilla. Roxana Dennis. Laura Leach. Harag Kortoshian. Cole Brownwell. Caleb Pate. Daniel Dingle. Khadija Sarafi. Turkey Abu Bunaya. Tabat Al-Barzuki. Sultan Al-Dosari. Ali Al-Rahmani. Zachary Clayberg. Jonathan Houdale. Andranik Agdagian. Joshua Woodard. Sam Spector. Janica Abasina. Lilia Zakira. Melanie De Silva. David Hernandez. Christopher Chong. Maritza David. Pamela Medagorian. Kevin Pereira. Francis Marie Texan. Omid Servaju. Shan Lee. Yu Shou. Abdul Rahman Al-Harbi. Abdul Rahman Al-Mokazian.
This one, make sure you do the middle name as well.
Abdurrahman Abdullah Al-Bakri. Salman Alanesi. Abdullah Murad. Mashal Balushi. Hamad Al-Makazin. Salem Al-Harmi. Hamad Syed Al-Mansouri. Nazar Al-Bukesi. Duri Yi. Mylin Pham. Murat Al-Johani. Prabjot Dinso. Jesse Machoro. Jawa Zheng. Feng Deng. William G. Edgar Hartunian. Tada Shavardian. Nikita Volkov. Iskagulian. Gevorg Iskagulian. Hakop Jack Abazazian. Narbik Manosian. Emilio Morales. Ricardo Garcia. Philip Baller. Nancy Partida. Steve Kiernan Hovanassian. Genevieve Ruan. Caitlin Sullivan. Charlene May Meta. Magali De Luis. Kaoli Seto. Kenneth Stone. Nya Yin Arani Chan. Jing Wang. Ya Zheng. Li Ten Chen. James Taylor. Kachik Nikoyan. Melanie Blakely. Patricia Funk. Eugene O. Tyler Tran. Allison Chung. Yezi Zhang. Shami Rupa. Tara Kahlo. Frankie Liu.
Nadika Hetiarachi. Andrew Daesung Lee. David Lopez. Kelly Tran. Hong Tran. Leticia Perez Rojas. Francisca Munoz. Fiona Pham. Estref Guevara. Brianda Romero. Mariela Cruz. Kevin Lim. Jose Ortiz. William Santosa. Jordi Ganawan. Gabriela Salim. Yi Chin Ye. Kwan Yin Se. Brandon Gedalia. Jackie Chen. Chari Miyama. Antonio Jesus Navarro. Miguel Jacobo. Kevin Aronoff. Ambros Malia. Lynette Narcissian. Sarab Makolian. Sirab Makolian. Adan Viarato. Luis Contreras. Arinda Clay. Pedram Tehrani Hazeh. Joey Afota. Garek Avatisian. Christian Artiaga. Christine Dugali. Dana Rosenfeld. Abdul Rahman Al-Abjaji. Edgar Rivas. Jessica Connor. Amanda Harake. Emily Kim. Bryce Snell. Badir Al-Barak. Mohammed Al-Ghatani. Now reading the names of the recipients for marketing. Andrew Vieira. Amy Elizabeth Garcia. Roy Coe. Daryl Camra. Katrina Beltran. Colin Gluick. Helen Bagdasarian. Edith Gomez. Jason Field. Tanaz Norpavar. Daniel Lawson. Wesley Masonka. Andres Nieto. Mahek Mandivia. Walter Alas. Sisian Garamanians. Summer Malone. Heather Tixon. Kimberly April Gonzalez. Samantha Bernabe. Cassidy Bragg. Saad Khan Youssef Azai. Rashid Mohammed Dikil. Angelo Chispi. Esther Yang. Ali Amutari. Nasser Al-Bassan. Faisal Ajarbu. Mark Roberti. Luisa Ramirez. Lucero Soriano. Samantha Rivera. Jessica Cardoza. Majal Sarafi. Eric Lee. Taryn Kamamoto. Tatum Harrington. Daniel Sarkey. Laura Gutierrez. Amy Quetzalco. Talia Martinez. Ashley Slater. Damone Beeman. Tyler Kappen. Anthony Ball. Allison Page Jackson. Wael Nawari. Brian Tankus. Johan Chang. Ulysses Fletes. Chirayu Desau. Ramiro Martinez Ortiz. Angel Arce Avila. Nicole Nedeleron. Rebecca Kendrick. Gladys Garcia. Edwin Reyes. Jorge Hernandez. Kurt Peterson. Morgan Sawyer. Dustin Glantz. Arthur Manassian. Amy Navarro. Andre Lesko. Natalie Ortiz. Long Pham. Minyang Huang. Alberto Urias. Grace Chilian. Alice Kim. Giselle Godino. Chelsea Gerwin. Wenjin Yu. Nicholas Dow. Cody Despain. Jonathan Sadian. Narcisse Ngoze. Mark Joseph Tarouk. Tracy Pang. Zulema Reyes. Karine Adamian. David Agtarap.
Before I proceed, I'd like to say that for those of you who are graduating in 4 years and reminded me that you started with me when I started 4 years ago, I just want to say thank you and a special congratulations to you. Will all of the baccalaureate degree recipients please rise? In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel to the right of the mortarboard. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select group of highly educated men and women. In recognition of your new status, will all recipients of the baccalaureate degree move the tassel to the left? Congratulations. We're almost done. Thank you, and please be seated. At this time, alumnus Heather Briggs will now officially welcome you into the California State University Northridge Alumni Association.
Good morning. On behalf of the CSUN Alumni Association and more than 320,000 CSUN graduates, it is my privilege to be the first to formally welcome you as part of the alumni of this great university. We encourage you to stay connected to the CSUN family as you continue your ascent to greatness. Congratulations and welcome to the CSUN alumni family.
So now all you have to do is go out into the world, accomplish great things, and come back and tell us about it so we can brag about you. To officially close this ceremony, I ask that all of our students, faculty, and CSUN alum rise for our university alma mater, Hail to the Matadors, under the musical direction of Professor Matt Harris, the Jazz A Band, and sung by Sarah Salazar. The alma mater is on the inside cover of your commencement program, but I'm sure you all know all of the words. And when the alma mater is concluded, we ask you to please remain in your seat until the platform party and our faculty have recessed. We ask that all of our parents and guests please remain seated until the end of the recessional and join us at the reception over in Juniper Hall Courtyard, which is just north of this ceremony location. Congratulations and thank you.